there, stampers and crafters. My name is Tami White from stampwithtami.com, and welcome to our Tuesday online class. Today we are going to be making a beautiful suspended gold cross card. My original idea, and oh, I guess I don't have it handy, so I'll pull it up. My original idea was to make I was looking to make what I was hoping was going to look more like a necklace, like a gold cross necklace. And so this was the original idea that I had started with, and then the inspiration just started flowing, and so I came up with a few more really cool. I have a frosted window here and a locket. So we're going to make these 3 cards today using the Hold On to Hope bundle. So it's the Hold On to Hope stamp set and Cross of Hope dies from Stampin' Up. And they're the featured. Let me just fix that there so it doesn't get all wonky on you. They are going to be the featured products that we're using today. I'm going to catch you up on a few things in the know here while you guys are popping on board and tell you about what I am giving away today. So I always like to keep you up to speed on what's happening so nobody misses out on anything in Stamping World. And I do this in multiple places to catch, people, some of you really enjoy the Facebook Live. Some of you are watching later on YouTube. Some of you catch my blog later. Some of you catch it in the newsletter, but I try to put it everywhere so nobody misses out on anything. And the very first thing I want to talk about is one of those big releases. There was a special sneak peek for the incredible Stamparatus tool back in December. So Stampin' Up! Announced this revolutionary positioning tool called the Stamparatus. And they announced that it will be released in the upcoming annual Stampin' Up! Catalog product line, which comes out this coming June. So in a couple of months, it'll be coming out. And then they said, we are going to open up a special sneak peek pre-order, and this was back in December, for this positioning tool if you want to be one of the first to get it in your hot little hands. And they opened it not only to demonstrators but to customers as well. And I got that word out everywhere I possibly could to let you guys know, get in, because if you don't get it, if you don't pre-order, and they weren't coming in until now, but if you didn't pre-order by December, you wouldn't be able to get it until June. So I wanted to get that word out to everybody. And I know just of my my own customers, I know there were hundreds of you that got involved. So I have to spread this word now. They're in! The pre-orders are in! We're so excited. So if you were able to get in that second release, you should be getting an email from Stampin' Up! And they will tell you how you can finalize your order. Now, here's the important piece of this. The cost of the Stamparatus, when it comes out in June, and if you were able to be a part of that special pre-order back in December, was $49.95. So if you were able to be part of that special pre-order, if you get finalize your order before March 31st and add something tiny, 5 cents or more, something in the clearance rack, anything in my online store, you'll get a free celebration product with your Stamparatus. So that is like a double bonus. So for those of you who jumped on right away and got involved and got this wicked cool tool, I'm so excited. You are going to be able to get, you'll be able to get it now. If you were not lucky enough to get in early for whatever reason, you weren't around, you're new to Stampin' Up, there's many reasons, that you could have missed this, especially in December. Don't worry. It's only a couple of months away from its release. It's coming out June, I believe the 1st. So I will keep you up to speed on when it will be out. I'm going to be using it more and more so you guys can see some more. But I do have information on my blog. If you click on the link in this video's description, about the Stamparatus, about how cool it is, about the things it can do. I know you can see a little sneak peek here. So just awesome news. Some more in the know items. I have a new hostess code came out a couple of days ago, and 2 new ordering tutorials for my customers. And Faith is saying it's $49. I thought it was $49.95. If it's $49, I apologize if I have the amount wrong. If I'm off by the 95 cents, forgive me. So either way, there isn't anything in the online store for 5 cents. So there are some items in there for $2. Get one of those to add on for the celebration product. And I do apologize if I have that off. Anyways, so I have new ordering tutorials. Make sure you use the hostess code if your order's under $150. If it's over $150, don't use that hostess code. It's automatic. You'll automatically get everything. And you're going to get Celebration items. Celebration is ending. Oh my gosh. You know, and it just feels like it just started and all of a sudden it's ending. Celebration is that wonderful time of year when you place an order for $50 or more and you get free products in my online store, and they're limited edition products. So as of March 31st, they will be no more. These products will all retire, with the exception of the basket folder and the Celebrate You Thinlits. All the other, the Bubble and Fizz paper, all the stamp sets, the lavender stamp set, the pandas, all of them will be gone. So if you haven't gotten everything on your wish list in Celebration, make sure to get it now. Plus, the special when you join for 2 free stamp set will be going away too. So just a heads up, there's 11 days left. Get everything you want now. And in addition to that, there's 2 paper pumpkin specials happening. If you're new, there's a 50% off your first 2 months, April and May. And if you're new or not new, there is also a special where you can marry a prepaid subscription and get free Celebration products. All this information is on my blog, so you can get all the details there. If you click on the link in this video's description, you can go right to stampwithtami.com. It's all there. Okay, so that's what's happening in Stamping World. Now it's time to talk about some giveaways, because it's a live online class. I have some goodies for you guys, and I have a brand new early bird special, meaning if you leave a comment here at the 10-minute mark, which is in 3 minutes, I will be doing a drawing for a free product. So I've got 3 different drawings. Let me just show you what we got today. 3 different drawings. One is going to be at the 10-minute mark, and it's going to be for this awesome pop-up scrap bin. Here it is. It's a Stampin' Up scrap bin. It pops up, folds flat. Everybody loves these. So I'll be giving that away to one lucky winner. All you need to do is leave a comment. And if you don't win that, you will also be eligible to win one of the 2 amazing new Celebration stamp sets. These will be drawn at the end of this live video. So if you're watching live on Facebook, and currently I'm only able to do lives on Facebook. Someday I hope to do both YouTube and Facebook at the same time. But for now, we're just on Facebook, and then the replay goes on YouTube. If you're live, you're eligible to win all these, and I'm giving a package of pearls away with everything. If you are watching the replay, or you were watched live, you left a comment, but you didn't win, you will automatically be eligible to win my replay drawing, which will be on April 3rd. And that is for the Amazing You stamp set and the Celebrate You Thinlits. These are level 2 Celebration product. You get the free with a $100 order, the Celebrate You Thinlits, and they go with the Amazing You stamp set, which is also a Celebration product. So great deal right here. Everybody will be eligible to win that. Even if you're not live, you leave a comment, you will be eligible to win my Afterlife. I just saw a comment float by here that somebody did not see the basket folder and the Celebration products. Click on the link in my video's description. They're there. It's part of the bundle with the stamp set right now. There's a stamp set that will not carry over, that will be retired on March 31st. That's bundled with the folder. Okay, so that is the freebies that I have. That is what's in the know. If you're popping on later, either catch what's happening on my blog, or you can go back and watch the beginning to see what's happening in Stampin' World, because I don't want anyone to miss out on anything. Especially, you know, when the hot news comes out, I do everything I can to get it out to you guys, just so you're aware. Even if you're not interested, it's my job to make sure that you know that you have this available to you. All right, so let's pop down to the table and see what we're making today. We have 1 more minute, so actually I'm going to be fairly quick here. I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to draw a quick winner for the early bird, and we will do the rest. We'll draw these at the end of the episode. Okay, so today we are going to be playing with the Hold On to Hope bundle, which I played with on Friday, and I've got a set of 3 cards here. These are Suspended Gold Cross, is what I'm calling these. So it's like, it looks like a necklace, right? That was what I was going for, was a necklace. It looks like a cross necklace hanging here in like a little bit of a window card. This here is like a frosted window inside with a beautiful saying. This will be great for many occasions. They could be great for Easter. They could also be great for communion, for a sympathy card. There's so many uses here. And then this was more what I was thinking in my head was a locket. But it also could be, you know, like a box, a jewelry box as well. look there for that. So I'm going to show you how to make all 3 of these. Thank you, Marianne. She says she loves watching. Love all the hearts. Oh, you guys. So I hope that means that you like it. Okay, so before we get started, let's pop over and draw a quick winner for our free, let me see if I can get the right one here, for our free pop-up scrap bin. Okay, and just a note, everything that I'm doing here, you will find on my resource page, as well as a replay of this video, and a free PDF, which I'm going to show you in a minute. So I'm showing you right now close-ups of the project, a little bit about the stamp set and the Afterlife giveaway and all the supplies. This is the resource page. Click on the link in this video's description. It'll bring you right to it. Okay, now it is time for a giveaway. Early bird. If you're on here early, you've left a comment, you are eligible to win this pop-up scrap bin. If you don't win this, I have more giveaways at the end. Okay, so wow, 400 comments. I love you guys. I love you right back. Okay, so the winner of the pop-up early bird special, pop-up scrap bin early bird special is coming at ya, Kathy Wright. Congratulations, Kathy. Be sure to fill out the prize claim form, which is linked in this video's description. Okay, so now we're going to go back down to our table and do some stamping. So this is part of the Hold On to Hope stamp set and the Cross of Hope dies, which you can bundle and save 10%. These are available in my online store. They're in the Occasions catalog. This is the stamp set we'll be using. And then here's the coordinating dies. Okay. We use the stamp set on Friday's online class to create these cards. If you were not able to catch that one yet, you can catch it here on Facebook, on YouTube, or you can click over to my blog and see. I actually have a link on my blog called Online Classes. If you click it, you can see all of my previous online classes and get the class resources and free PDFs for them. So we use the stamp set to create these beautiful cards. I was thinking Easter when I designed these. So today we're going to go in a different direction and use them to create these suspended cross cards. As with all of my online classes, I mentioned the free PDF. I have a free PDF for you. It contains a photo of these cards that we're making. It contains all the measurements that you need to create the cards and the complete supply list on it, and a note, a spot for taking notes. All the instructions will be here in the video, and then you can take notes to help you when you're creating them later. There is also a URL here that brings you back to that resource page that I was just showing you on my blog, where you can get the PDF. Everything links back. I try to make everything easy for you. And there's also, if you have a smartphone and you know how to use a QR code, you can also zap that and it will bring you back to this URL as well. You can get there either way. But this video replay will be there as well. So if you don't have the products, or you're not able to follow along, or you're sneaking this in at work, I know a lot of you are doing that, you can come back and play later and make these and check out the video simply by clicking on the, typing in this URL or clicking on the QR code, or going to my blog and clicking online classes and getting it that way. So I'm going to start with our basic hanging cross. This is our basic hanging cross card. The very original that I made. Very fun, super easy to make. It's very fun to work with. This whole set is very fun to work with. So again, all of the measurements will be on that, will be on the free PDF. So I'm going to start with the Big Shot. In fact, this actually doesn't, this first card doesn't have any stamping. It's actually just Big Shot. So we're going to start with the Big Shot die cut machine. And we are going to cut our cross, and we're going to cut our oval first. And then we're going to do some embossing, dry embossing for the background. Okay, so here is the Big Shot. And again, all of this information is on my stampwithtami.com blog on all these products. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is some cutting here. So I've got these pieces all came with the Big Shot. There's a platform here, the thin die adapter, and one cutting pad. And we can cut these two pieces together. I am using the dies that here are the oops, not that one. This is the layering ovals dies. They all come together. They're layering ovals. And for this one, I am taking, hold on, it's the third, this is the fourth smallest oval. So the fourth smallest oval for our first card. And we're going to cut that right smack dab out of the middle of our very vanilla panel. Now this gold the gold foil, we're going to take... The cross was hiding underneath my magnet, which is not doing a very good job of sticking. I have to find a better way to do my die sets, I think. Okay, so I've got the cross, and I'm going to cut that out of this gold foil panel here. In fact, I've got probably a pretty big panel here, so we can cut quite a bit out of there. Now, a little note. I think I have some handy here. If you're using the magnetic platform, you won't need this step, but I'm not using it today just so I can show you how to use the thin die adapter. So I'm taking a Post-it note just to hold the oval steady when it goes through so it doesn't shift, and putting one cutting pad on top, and that way it will cut exactly where I want it to cut. Okay, happy first day of spring, everybody. Thank you, Diane. It is the first day of spring, and here in New England we have another snowstorm coming. What the heck? What is happening? Seriously. March is the new February here in New England. It seems like, you know, we didn't get out very little snow all winter, and then all of a sudden, bam, spring comes and we're getting it all over the place. So we've cut the center out of our panel here. And here's the cool part here is this die. Oops, sorry, I banged my table a little bit there. I love it. I love it. And it just reminded me of a gold cross necklace. So I'm just going to put this stuff aside because we are going to bring it back out in a minute. Our big shot. Oh, actually, you know what? That was a little premature. We're not ready to get rid of our big shot yet. We have one more piece of big shot work to do, and I just threw that on the floor. So excuse me while I pick up my cutting pad. Oh, good times. Okay. All right. I'm taking off the thin die adapter because now I'm using the garden trellis folder. This is the garden trellis folder. And when we use a folder, we don't need that thin die adapter. It's just for dies. So I'm going to place this panel inside the folder that we've already cut. We want to cut first because if you do this folder part first and then send it through, when you do the die, it will flatten out your folder. So you want to do the folder part after you've cut the center out. So we're going to take 2 cutting pads and crank it through. All right. Joanne says she always gets on late and doesn't get to watch the live. Well, today's your lucky day because you're on live now. All right. Isn't that awesome? Such a beautiful folder. And that one was quick and easy. No, I feel like I wanted to use a size big. No, I guess that was the right one. In my head, I'm feeling like I want to use a size bigger, but that was the one I used. Okay. On the oval. All right. So for our first card, that is that's it, really. Now we just have a little bit of assembly, and I'm going to take my paper piercer, and I seem to have misplaced my foam mat. I'm just going to do a quick search over here on the side, throw everything around, and I don't know, I guess I'm going to have to get another foam mat. So I'm just going to take the paper piercer, since normally I would poke it into the foam mat, which would be my preferred way of doing it, but since I don't have that, and I don't have anything to poke it into, here we go. I'm gonna try not to stick myself with it. All right, that is on the supply list. I do highly recommend doing this with the foam mat, but okay, I was successful in doing that, but it wasn't awesome. It was a little scary, not gonna lie. Okay, so when I go to assemble this, I'm using some gold thread, and this is available in my online store. Now, the gold thread is very, very fine. I personally like to double it up to make it look a little bit, you can see it a little bit better on the card to make the chain of the necklace here. And the other thing is, once I did that, I kind of twisted it a little bit. Let's see if you can see what I'm doing here. Twisted it a little bit so you didn't see 2 threads, you just saw 1. And then we can thread that through. It's like threading a needle. Putting your necklace through your pennant, which is exactly what we're doing here. Okay. Does it make a difference which way the folder goes, Marlene? I don't know what you mean by that. Do you mean upside down or right side up? No. it doesn't make a difference that way, and it doesn't make a difference if it goes left or right. So whatever you meant by that, no, it doesn't make a difference which way the folder goes, I guess, if that answered the question, if one of those answered your question. Okay. Next up, I have got some, these are foam strips. We use these a lot on window cards and shaker cards, and I am going to use it on the back of the cross to pop it up on the card. So I'm literally just taking it, and then we're just gonna cut there, and maybe a couple of little pieces on either side if you want to. You can put them there. I'm not gonna bother putting it on there, but you can. Okay, now the other thing is you can use it here on the card, or you could use Stampin' Dimensionals. You can do either one for popping up this section of the card. I'm just gonna go ahead with these strips. At least on this card. Maybe I'll do dimensionals on one of the... I have 2 more cards to go, so we're having a lot of fun today. We're going to do some heat embossing on the next 2. And working with some vellum, which I love. Okay. Okay. So I'm just peeling off the backing here of this panel, and you know what, I do need to do one more step here. It's important that that thread attaches to the back of this, because it looks like the necklace is hanging over the top of this panel. So I do need to make sure that we kind of, and I'm doing this upside down, but I also want to make sure that the thread is twisted so that it looks like one piece and not 2. So I'm just going to twist that and stick it to the back of that. Okay. So I'm just kind of measuring it out here to make sure that it looks right, which it did. You can adjust it if you need to. Trim off the excess because you don't want any of that gold thread hanging out. And then this can line up on our card base. And then we're going to peel off the back of the strip that we put on the back of the cross. And again, you can use dimensionals for the card part, but for the cross, you definitely want to use those strips. Now I am going to pull this a little bit tighter because I'm just gently lifting it up and pulling the thread down a little bit tighter because it seemed like it was a little too loose for me. Okay, there we go. And that is our gold cross. Told you that was quick and easy, right? Okay, so I am right. On my original, I used the 3rd largest. Here I used a size down. So this one that I just made, that oval, is a hair smaller than this oval. So this is the 3rd smallest oval in the layering ovals, and this is the 4th smallest. So you can see the difference there. Whoops, we got some lint. Go away. So you can see the difference. The cross still fits, but it's tighter. Here you get a little bit of space around the cross, which I think I like the space better. So 3rd largest oval on that one, which is fine. We're going to use them again, but just... I know when I was doing it, I'm like, that oval just seems kind of small, and that's why, yes, I wanted the larger. All right, that's card number 1. So card number 2, we're going to be creating this frosted window card. It's beautiful. So a lot of the same elements here. I'm going to show you how to make this gold frame, how to emboss on vellum, and how to make the cross kind of float in underneath here, because it's kind of floating. It's hard to see a little bit on the video, but it's kind of floating behind the vellum there. Okay, so let's get started with that. And we got some vellum. We have our layers, so I'm just going to put our card die. I've pre-cut the card base. Again, those measurements are on my blog. And we're going to start with the embossing on this one. I'm just going to bring it in a hair so you can see. I hate when there's too much stuff and you get distracted by it. I want you to be able to see what we're doing. So I'm going to do some embossing, which is Versamark ink that we're going to use here. And before I get started, I am going to use the Emboss Buddy. Somebody gave a good tip on one of my classes recently and said, take an elastic, stick this to your Versamark pad, and then you won't forget it. Because I always call this, if you forget the Emboss Buddy, and it happens so often, you will regret it. It keeps the static down, and then your embossing powder, which is very fine, doesn't stick where you don't want it to. Okay, so I'm going to stamp right in the center of this vellum, and the measurements for the vellum are on that free PDF. Since I don't have, I'm using that free PDF, that same free PDF that I just referenced. It has more uses than just your notes and to save for later. You can also use it to catch embossing powder. How about that? No extra charge for that. Okay, so I've got gold embossed powder here. This is a detailed embossing powder, so it will work. This is from Stampin' Up. It works great on these words. So just flicking off the excess, and we'll just pour the extra right back into the jar. These jars go on and on forever. Okay, and we'll just move these guys out of the way. Oh, Whisper Pat, you were so sweet. She's like, I would pay for this card. You don't need to pay for it. You can make it. Okay, so this is the Stampin' Up! Heat Tool. Rocks on. It's got 2 settings. We're going to heat this up. If you watch me regularly, you know how much I love embossing. I'm sure I'm not alone. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Is this your favorite thing ever, heat embossing? There it goes. You see it? Trying to get it to catch the light so you can see it. There you go. Awesome. Okay, so what it just did was it melted that powder and it made it like gold foil, which is awesome. I got one little piece there that I just want to, looks like that you didn't get totally heated. Okay. There we go. All right. So there is our vellum. And next we are going to do the big shot work. So now we've got our words all heat embossed. We're going to put them to the side. Now on this step, I'm going to do something a little bit different when we cut out the cross. I'm going to give you a little tip here. Bring the big shot in here. And that is, okay, so we need our thin die adapter back on top. Again, these pieces all come with the big shot. We've got one cutting pad on the bottom. We have got our, now on this, let's see, we want the 2 larger circle dies. 2 larger than what I had used before. So it's the second, let's see, this is the one that I used on the first one, and that's not the one I want to use. I want to use the second and third largest ovals. Let me just double check that. Yes. We've got second and third largest ovals from the Layering Oval die set and the cross from the Cross of Hope set. Okay, so we want the third largest oval, so the smaller of the 2, the third largest, to cut the hole from the center of our Very Vanilla. And then we are going to, let me just move this over so you guys can see. I'm going to cut the larger oval out of some gold foil. And in the middle of that, in the very middle of it, I'm going to cut out our cross. This is going to save on cardstock because the piece that we cut out here is going to be an oval that probably is not really going to get used all that much. And I'm taking that same Post-it note back and we're going to hold that steady. And we're going to hold this oval steady. Okay. So the oval doesn't move. Again, if you have a magnetic platform, you won't need to do the Post-it note step, but I just wanted to show how to do this if you don't have that. I know sometimes when you're new and you first buy your big shot for the first time, you can only use what comes with it. You add on later to the magnetic platform. So I just want to show you, especially for the beginners, how to do the step without the magnetic platform, which is the Post-it notes absolutely help. Okay, so we're just going to crank that through. And when I peel this off, oops, I moved the big shot and I wasn't done with it yet. Sometimes I just get, whoops, sometimes I just get a little ahead of myself. Okay, so we can still reuse those Post-it notes. Believe it or not, they are reusable. Okay, so we've got our oval cut out. Double checked it to make sure I did the right one this time. And on this one, we are going to send this layer through one more time. Okay, so we've cut our, so we had this oval was going to get cut out anyways. So we cut the gold cross out of it to save on the gold foil. So it's just a little tip there. And then I'm going to take the same oval that we used on the very vanilla. This same one that we used on the very vanilla is, crap. I have to remember which way to do it. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to go this way. And it's going to cut a frame out. All right. So bear with me for 1 minute, putting that Post-it note back on there so that stays steady. I want to make sure that that oval is underneath the that the gold foil is underneath our oval there. Okay. Okay. Sharon says, why do you need the thin die adapter? I use the magnetic platform. Yes, I am showing what to do if you do not have a magnetic platform. I'm not using a magnetic platform today. I'm using the platform that comes with the Big Shot. Just in case you're tuning in late. I just wanted to show how to use the Big Shot in case you're new and you just got it and don't have that magnetic platform yet. This is the layer that you need. If you have a magnetic platform, you don't even need the Post-it notes. You can just go ahead. These frames will lay down. The magnet will hold them in place. The magnetic platform does rock, but I do want to show how to use the pieces that come with the Big Shot machine because there are a lot of new people out there. Okay, so now we have our frame. That is our gold frame that we're going to use on our card. All right, now we have one more piece that we're going to cut out here. I'm sorry, not that we're going to cut out, that we're going to emboss. So I'm taking the thin die adapter off. We are on the Big Shot platform here. And I'm using that garden trellis impression folder again. Here's the garden trellis impression folder. And I'm sliding that piece of vanilla that we cut the oval out of into that folder. Okay. All right. Terry says, I love the Big Shot. I use it on practically every card. I agree, right? Love me some Big Shot. This is a staple. If you are new, you definitely want to add this to your wish list. Okay, so what I've done is just the same as before. I've taken the thin die adapter off. I'm on the regular Big Shot platform that comes with it. 2 cutting pads, and we're just going to crank that folder through. Okay, Brenda, the thin die adapter, she says, I have a magnetic platform, but not a thin die adapter. The thin die adapter comes with the Big Shot machine. The Big Shot machine comes with this platform. It comes with the thin die adapter. These come with it. And 2 cutting pads. They all come in the box with the Big Shot machine. At least if you buy it in my online store, it does. If you have something from someplace else, I can't say. Okay, so now we have an embossed outer edge to our card. Now we're ready to move this out of the way, at least until the next card. We have one more card to go after this. Okay. Now on this one, and I'm just going to take our, this is a little silicone mat, and you could use your, the thin fine tip glue pen for this too, if you would like to. I'm using some snail because I'm a snailholic. You could use mini glue dots or your favorite adhesive, whatever it is, for this part right here. This is the frame, and it's going to fit perfectly. I used the smaller of the 2 ovals, which was the 3rd largest, to cut the hole, and the 2nd largest for the outer frame. And now we have a perfect gold frame for our card. And then I'm going to take the vellum that we embossed on and some snail adhesive on the back here. And line up that vellum. The beautiful thing about vellum is you can see through it. So you can see exactly where to line that up. So we have our words on here. All right, so now our gold cross, we're going to come back to those things, the strips. These strips, hold on, let me find it in here so I can show it to you again in case you're new and just popping in. Where the heck did I put them? Oh, over here. No one ever does that, do they? You put your stuff on the table and then it's right in front of your face and you still don't see it. These are the strips that we use for window cards, for shaker cards. They're foam strips. They are available in my online store. They're also great for this particular card. I'm going to take it and put it on the same as I did with the last card. Put one long strip there on the back of that cross. Oh my gosh, my dog is snoring. Can you hear him? Can you hear Flash in the background? Okay, now I had mentioned before, you can use these strips or you can use the Stampin' Dimensionals pop dots on the back of this portion. You can go either way with that. I happen to have these strips out, so I'm going to use them. But maybe the last card I'll do the dimensionals on, just so you can see both. Okay. And one last little strip for our top. I love these strips. They're nice and clean and straight, and they just go on really good. Okay, so before I put this panel on, I want to line up our cross and make sure that it's in the right spot and put that on first. So I'm going to peel off the backing underneath the cross. Okay, Cheryl is looking for the folder. Again, all of these supplies are listed on my blog. So if you've missed part of this and you missed where I mentioned the name of something, you can just click on the link in this video's description and find it there. It is the garden trellis folder. Okay, so did you see what I did there? I'm just holding it. I'm just holding that cross in place. And I'm just going to place it down there. So it's going to go right where we want it, and then I'm going to peel this off. I suppose you could do that all in one step if you wanted to, but I was afraid that these might stick where I don't want them to. So I did it in two, but that's up to you. If you're feeling very confident in your placement, then you do it all at once. Okay. Okay, and there we go. And then that goes right over there, and we have our floating cross underneath and our frosted window card, and that is how quick and easy that card is. I love it. I love it. I'm so in love with this stamp set. It's just such a great set. This is the Stampin' Up! Hold On to Hope stamp set. If you're tuning in late, you want to come back and watch the beginning later, on the replay, because we made this card to start with, the hanging cross necklace card. We just did the frosted window, and I have one more card to go, and that one is my locket. A locket, a jewelry box. I love it's the hinges that made it on this card. So cool. Okay, so this is our last card. We're going to use all of the same pieces to make this card with one exception, and that is I'm adding in for this card the sliding door framelets. Now these come with the barn door stamp set, or they match the barn door stamp set. You can purchase them together or individually, and it's these two pieces of the sliding door framelets. And I do have an online class using the barn door. It's the slider card. It's very cool. So it's these two hinges. I'm going to show you to them in just a minute. We're going to start off here very similar to how we started the other card, but our placement is going to be what's different on this one. So again, all of these measurements are on the free PDF on my blog, and simply click on the link in the video's description. And if you missed any of the products, you can click on that link to see the full product list there too. Okay, first off, Big Shot, pulling that Big Shot back in. Again, I am working today with the pieces that come with the Big Shot, but if you have a magnetic platform, you can use that as well. And you don't need to take the step that I'm going to take here with the Post-it note. But for you beginners that don't have that yet, here's how we're going to do it. Big Shot platform, thin die adapter, one cutting pad. I feel like it's like a little song. Thin die adapter, platform, cutting pad. I feel like I'm doing a little ABC song there. Okay, this time I'm going to cut the oval from this side, which I'm still going to put it that way so that we have room for our gold. Okay, now I want to make sure I use the right layering ovals this time. So we're using the layering oval. Got to cut the cross the same way out of that center piece where the oval is. And let's see, we have 1, 2, okay. So I've got this is the second and third largest ovals. So now I actually want the same oval on this one and this one, but I also need an inner oval. Oops, sorry, you guys can't see that, can you? I'm working off screen here. So I've got the smaller of the two, which is the third largest on the Very Vanilla, but I am going to have to put the Very Vanilla in again. Okay. I'm reusing Post-it notes. because you can do that. Okay, whoops. Oh, it's always a good time, isn't it? Okay, so then I've got the larger of the ovals and the cross in the middle. And what this is going to do is just save some of your gold foil, because it's going to cut out a piece of this gold foil that no one's ever going to see, because it's going to be layered. But I want to make sure that it doesn't move, so I'm using the Post-it notes to hold it in place, because I do not have a magnetic platform on it today. One cutting pad on top and in. Okay, Pamela is asking, is this a newer Big Shot? Yeah, about a year or two ago they changed the platform style. It used to have hinges, and now it doesn't. So the thin die adapter, if you have a hinged platform, the thin die adapter would be with it when it's closed, if you have an older hinge style platform. Now they separated it, no hinges, so that those hinges don't break, and it's called a thin die adapter now. Okay, so we're going to hold on to that oval. We're going to use the outer part of that oval, but we've cut the cross out of the middle to save on some of that gold foil. And we are going to use that same, once again, I put that die away and I wasn't done with it. I'm too quick to clean up. All right, so I need to send this through again with the larger die, because I want that hole to be matching the size of this, because you know what, I cut it wrong. Oh my gosh, my head. All right, do I have another piece in here? Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna quickly recut another piece here, because I didn't mean to cut that in the middle. I needed to cut it on the side, so we can fix this. Here's what we're gonna do. Just move that out of the way for 1 second. I'm gonna take my trimmer. I was so used to cutting the other ones, I put that right smack dab in the middle, and I didn't mean to. Okay, I'm going to take the paper trimmer, and we're going to cut this at 5 1/4 by 4 inches for our layer. And this particular card, whoever gets it as a thank you card, if you win, I'll send this to you. You're going to get a postcard style, which means it doesn't open. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, right? Okay, let's try that one more time. So that's going to be our card base. Okay, back to the Big Shot. One cutting pad down. I've got the thin die adapter on there. Line that up. Second largest oval here. Second largest to the left, on the left-hand side. Using a Post-it to hold it in place in the cutting pad. Okay. I'm here for you, Beth. She said, thanks for showing us how to fix our mistakes. There's one thing I'm very good at. It's fixing mistakes. Because that's something I do a lot. If you watch me here, you know that's half of what I do, is showing you how to recover. It's all fun, though. There really are no mistakes. And sometimes they come out with the coolest ideas. Okay, we've got the garden trellis folder. I'm going to place that panel in the garden trellis folder. Take off that thin die adapter. Put it between 2 cutting pads. And run it through the Big Shot. Phyllis says she's collecting ideas for the stamp set. Well, don't forget to add in my cards from Friday's class. These cards. If you missed this class, go back and check it out on my Facebook page, YouTube, or on my blog under online classes. This is the Hold On to Hope and Crosses of Hope Easter cards. Beautiful and super easy. If you're collecting ideas for the stamp set, those are a must. Okay. So now, let's open up our folder, and now we have our oval cut on the side here. I'm going to zoom in just a hair. We are going to emboss our words on this, let's see, no, the oval that we cut, the smaller oval that we cut originally. If I had them in the right place, we could have done that a little bit quicker, but that's okay. You guys don't mind spending the day with me, right? I could be here all day. All right, so I've got the emboss buddy. Just going to pat it over there to keep the static down, some Versamark. And the stamp set says, I have made you and I will carry you. I will sustain you and I will rescue you from, and it's a verse from Isaiah 46:4. I'm going to stamp that right in the middle of the oval. And this is the third smallest oval that we cut from Very Vanilla. And then that free PDF that I was showing you guys have all the measurements on it. It also doubles for catching embossing powder. I've got some gold embossing powder here. We're going to just pour that over the top. Flick off the excess. So we have our words on there. And this card, I mean, originally I was thinking Easter since it's Easter time, but there's so many occasions to use this card. It could be sympathy, it could be hope, it could be encouragement, it could be a first communion. It could be, there's so many different uses for this. It's very, very versatile. Okay, so I've got our heat tool here, and we're just going to heat that up. I'm going to hold it up so you guys can see it. Oh, I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. One little spot at the top there that I want to hit again. And we're good. So we have our words embossed on our oval. Okay, now, again, remember we cut that cross out of the middle here. You're not going to see that because we're going to layer it on top. We're going to layer these words on top. So I've got a little bit of snail adhesive to layer that on top. Oh my gosh, just when I thought I had everything cut out, there is one more really important part of this card that we need to cut out. You know what that is? Silly me. It's the hinges. It's the hinges from the barn door. It's the hinges from the barn door sliding door framelit set. These are going to be what our hinges for our locket / jewelry box are made from. These two little hinges here. So let's just slide this big shot piece. The big shot is getting a lot of, it's getting a total workout today. And okay, put that thin die adapter right back on there. Cutting pad underneath, and I have tons of gold scrap because you only need a tiny little piece. These are tiny, tiny little hinges, so just a tiny little piece of gold will work for those. In fact, I can probably do these corners and then cut more crosses or anything out of the rest of that piece of gold. Okay, so just place that on there, crank it through. There, and two of these little hinges come in the die set, so you can do them both at the same time. If you need to, you can go back to that paper piercer, which we're going to use again in a second to poke out any of those extra little pieces. There. Okay. All right. Now we can finish our card. These guys, I'm just going to use snail on them today. You could use mini glue dots or your fine tip glue pen, whatever your favorite adhesive is. Mine, as you know, is snail. Which means, because this is a very small cut here, you may have some show through. If you have some show through on the hinge, you may want to use your paper piercer to poke it out. So we're going to stick one right there, and the other one, let's say right there. So it's going to look like a locket, holding that on there. You know what? Let's move them up just a hair because I want to put that a little bit closer. So there we go. Okay. There, now I can move it in a little bit closer so it's a little bit centered, a little bit more centered. All right, so we're going to use Stampin' Dimensionals on this. Put some right here. So I did intermix the foam strips with the dimensionals. Now, if you didn't have those foam strips yet, and I do recommend them, you can use this edging if you cut it really, really tight on the strip of Stampin' Dimensionals. But you only get so much of that, and the foam strips, you know, they're not that expensive, and they go a long way. They're so, like when you're making the shaker cards, totally recommended. Totally recommended. But that is a way to get around it if you needed to. Okay, so we're going to put that panel right over there. Line it up with the oval that we have cut out. So it looks like a locket, a jewelry box. And all right, so we've cut out our cross already. Again, I can't find my paper piercing mat, so I apologize, and hopefully I don't if I poke myself in the finger doing this and I scream, just bear with me. There we go. I'm so afraid I'm gonna cut myself. Oh, okay, so again, paper piercing mat, it is on the supply list, is recommended, can't find it. I'm just going rogue here. I've got, this is a thread we used on the original card, the gold thread. This is in my online store as well. I'm doubling it up again so that you can see it. I think that the thin strand of it wasn't thick enough, I think, for my taste. So I've doubled it up. We're going to thread it through the cross. Okay. So again, this is like a hanging necklace on the back here. And then I'm going to flip it over and use, and here you can either use these dimensionals again or the foam strip. I have the dimensional right next to my hand, so I'm going to use that one on this card. But I am going to use the foam strip on the cross itself. Okay, so that's going to hold our cross in place, those two dimensionals there. And if you need to trim off the excess cord, do it, or pull it to the side so that it doesn't stick out into your card. All right, so now we need one more of these little foam. These are the foam adhesive strips I was just talking about. Peel one off here. I'm going to stick it. Now we're looking at the back side of this panel here and the back side of the cross. And I'm sticking that right down on the cross. That's going to hold the cross down. Okay. Marlene says, you heard that the embossing folder should feed through the Big Shot fold side first so as not to break it. I've never had one break on me before, and I don't pay attention to which way I put them through. So if that is a good idea, then that's great. But I haven't had that issue. So good advice, and I'm passing it along anyway. All right, I'm putting a few more Stampin' Dimensionals here. Thank you, Alicia. She says she loves this idea. Thank you very much. I really did. I was playing with these last weekend, and I just loved them. I love the set. It's a great set. Okay. I thought necklace. Kathy's like, who thought it was a necklace? I did. That was the first thing I thought of when I saw this particular cross. I was like, gold. It looks like a necklace. And I wanted to hang it. And so that was, I was thinking, how can I make this into a gold necklace? And it was just simple. Sometimes just a simple classic is the best. Thank you, Eileen. She says they're all beautiful. All right. Sometimes I see some cards that other people made, and I'm so inspired, and I case them, and I always give somebody credit if I case their work, and I just, I want to share it because I'm excited. But this particular time, and it's not all that often that I get my own my own burst of inspiration, but with this set, it came to me that this set, these are my own designs. I just really felt that when I first saw that cross, I felt it was a necklace. It had to be a necklace. Okay, so whoops, I'm gonna flip that over. So as you, if you have been watching, you know that I just made this card into a card front because I accidentally cut a panel wrong and had to recut it. So this is going to be a card front, but that's okay. No one else needs to know. We're hanging that cross down there, and our card is complete because it's a card front. It doesn't actually open, but somebody's going to get this when they win. One of you lucky winners, and I'm going to draw a winner in just a second, is going to get that with your prize. So this is the Hold On to Hope stamp set and the Cross of Hope die set that's available in the Occasions catalog. I'm going to pull out all the cards we just made. We just made a set of 3 cards here. I've got a frosted window here. I've got the locket card that we just finished up with and the original gold necklace card. These are the 3 cards that we just created. If you have left a comment here on the live, and wow, there's a lot of people on there. You guys, everyone, if I look up and saw that number, I'm glad I didn't see it earlier. I would have been shaken. Wow. Wow, okay, so I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. All right, so these are the cards we made. If you popped on late, be sure to come back to watch the beginning and the replay so you can see the beginning of the cards, and thank you. You are free to case this card. That's why I'm making it for you. I hope you guys enjoy it, and it is time to draw some winners. All right. So, if you've left a comment, you're automatically entered. I did an early bird drawing just at the beginning, the 10-minute mark, and Kathy Wright won that. Thank you guys for the hearts. Hearts are coming. I love you guys right back. So, Kathy Wright won the early bird drawing for the pop-up scrapping. Our next drawing is of the live prize patrol. I have 2 amazing used celebration stamp sets to give away. So, there's 2 stamp sets here. Our first winner is Esther Rich. Congratulations, Esther. And our second winner is, drumroll, Evelyn Gautier from Texas. I hope I said that right, Gautier. So you both won the amazing used stamp set, and I'm throwing in a set of pearls for everybody who won a live prize today. Be sure to fill out the prize claim form, and I will also post this in the comments on Facebook. I'll post it on my winners page of my stampwithtami.com blog. Click on winners. You can see all the past winners, and in my upcoming newsletter. All right, if you were not a live winner, hold on, don't worry, there's still more. There's still more. One great giveaway, and that is for this same stamp set with the Celebrate You Celebration framelits, which is a level 1 celebrations, a level 2 celebration set, meaning you had to have a $100 order to get it, or you can win it simply by leaving a comment here. And you're automatically entered if you've already left a comment. If you haven't left one, or you're watching the replay, leave a comment. You will be entered. I'll draw this winner on April 3rd. I will be back on Saturday. This is our blog hop week, which means instead of a Friday class, I will have a Saturday morning class. The time is 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, live on Facebook, and then the replay will be up on YouTube after. In case you missed the live, you can also catch it on Facebook or on my blog. And we have an Easter theme going, so we'll have a giveaway with the Stampin' Team blog hop. Very excited about it. We will see you on Saturday morning. Thanks for joining me today.